And we're back, folks. And today this podcast is brought to you by Chia Oil and NOS. You know, I had something funny I was going to tell you. The Chia Oil is kind of a joke, but it's serious. So, got the beard rolling, right? I don't know if you've noticed this, Travis, but it's pretty thick for this early in the season.
It looks lighter, though.
Lighter?
Yeah.
Like color-wise or not thick?
Color-wise.
Okay. The reason... Okay, so I have to I'll take a shower. And this is, by the way, this podcast isn't about my beard, but coming out after I take a shower, clean it, wash it. You know, I keep it clean. It's probably cleaner than a lot of women's hair. I tell them that because they're like, yeah, beards are nasty. It's like as dirty as a dog's hind end.
Does it shed like a woman's hair, though?
Okay. Before I used, my barber told me, and he has an incredible beard. He told me, you need to use chia oil. It's like women use it in their hair, but he started using it in his beard, and they say to do it. So anyways, I started using it at the beginning, very beginning. I mean, as soon as hair started coming on my face. Dude, before, when I would comb it out after I take a shower, hair would be falling off in the sink. Like what it was breaking off because it gets real brittle. And I started putting that on. Nothing. I'll comb it out wherever. One hair will not come out. It's trippy. I just guess it keeps it moist or whatever. But
so maybe if you rub it on your head, it would you won't go bald?
I put it on my face, and then the excess, I go through my fingers. So I'm hoping that helps me. Anyways, that's kind of it's a serious note, folks, but it's kind of a joke.
You're going to wake up one morning and look like a werewolf. It's just going to...
Dude, I see myself in that video. I'm like, dude, that thing's getting gnarly. I like it. It just looks like it wants to reach out and bite somebody or something. So, anyways, guys, in all reality, we're glad to say that we are ambassador for Hevi Shot. Kind of finalized. That was really awesome. Like we knew that was part of the deal going on, and just it finalized with the contract and everything. Pretty awesome.
Awesome. I love their product and look forward to utilizing it this season.
And you know, the awesome thing about that is they contacted us. I didn't chase them down. And I stopped doing that about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it. It's I don't want to beg people to have to, you know what I mean? Like, I want them to see the worth in our channel, what it can bring to them, instead of me like, this is what I'll do, this is what I'll do. Then it takes the pressure off because we're already using it.
Yeah,
we love that.
When
we
it's
love
a product
that.
that you already use. It's
exactly.
It's not like you have to.
I don't have to fake sell.
Act like you like their product
because they gave it to you.
Because they gave it to you for free. So
exactly.
Yeah, we were using it anyways and had great results, and so that it's just awesome that we're going to continue to use it. Not that we wouldn't, but just that we have it at our disposal to utilize.
I shouldn't really get off topic, but this is kind of a wild podcast tonight. This is go wherever the wind blows us. But I kind of putting you on the spot here because, you know, all those people that listen to it. And by the way, thank you guys so much for your support. It's growing a lot. The downloads per month have astronomically gone up. And I want to say a big thank you to you guys for listening. If you can do us a favor, though, it does help it to even spread more, is go on iTunes, even if you don't listen on that platform, and give it a rating. Write something down in the comments and then give it 5 stars or whatever you want to give it. But it just helps push it out there. But anyways, so I'm putting you on the spot. Obviously, we're ambassador for Hevi Shot now. But in all reality, what was your initial thoughts when you first started shooting that? Did you, be honest, you don't have to say nothing because that's what people like about this channel and the show is they don't care. We don't care who sponsors or who says what. We'll give an open, honest review. When you first shot, not maybe the first time, but as you used heavy metal, could you tell a difference between straight steel?
Well, what I used, the shells I used before, I liked them. They were cheap and, you know, they were easily accessible. And I shot those for a while. And then you guys actually started shooting Hevi Shot a year or two before I even considered it. And then that one day I was up there at the Sportsman's by where I work, and I seen those, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get a box of these, try them out.
Just one box?
Yeah, initially because I purchased that one box, and it was such a cheap price. I'm like, they must have rang me up wrong, you know. And I left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, that's like was like $13 a box for heavy metal. I think number 2s, 3-inch. And so I called up either you or Thomas. I'm like, hey, I got this box of shells, and you're like, what? And I'm like, you're like, go back and buy them all for me or whatever. And I'm like, oh. So I went back over there and I asked the guy because I mean, I if somebody rings me up wrong, I usually tell them like, hey, can you check this because I think you didn't ring it up right. And the guy rang it up. And he's like, no, this.
What was it? How much?
13 something a box. And so I'm asking him, I go, there's a case over there. I go, do you guys have any more in the back? He's like, let me look. He went back there and looked, and there was no more back there. And I'm like, well, I go, is it the same price? And he's like, yeah. And so he rang me up, and they took off like $15 a box. So I got the whole case for $100.
So Sportsman sells them for $28 a box.
I believe they were like,
wow.
They were like 20. No, they were 20, 15. Yeah, 20,
probably
like almost like $28 a box. I think it was.
Other than Kittles, a lot of places sell it for way marked up. Like Kittles, you can get them for like $22 a box.
Okay, I think it was like $28, and I ended up getting them for like after tax like $140 for the whole case.
You got still,
and, it was. I mean, I was really happy, and then you guys were like, is there any more? And I'm like, no. And I went back, and it was like, I don't even remember what the thing was, why it was so cheap. It was like a waterfowl day or something they had there, and but yeah, I got them for like $130 a box, and I shot them all last season, and they performed flawlessly. I never had a jam, never had a misfire, and I mean, I've had misfires before.
You can drop it down if you want
with my gun. You know what I'm saying? With the shells that I was shooting previously, I had a couple of misfires, and I'm like thinking, what if there's a, like we said before, a hybrid or, just a duck that you don't see and you get a click. Imagine how frustrating that would be. And I've had that click before, and birds are there, and you're trying to rip that shell out and get another one in there. And they worked beautifully and never had an issue with them. And I'm like, I think my initial thing for not purchasing them before was like the price. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, whoa, you might not spend that much to shoot at birds. You know what I'm saying? But after using them, I'm like, it's a great product. You know what I'm saying? And I would recommend them, and I like them. I haven't tried the heavy hammer, but like I said, I use the heavy metal, and so I would definitely spend the extra money for that shell because it performs so well. But yeah, they're a good shell.
Well, we didn't mean to get off on that tangent, but just kind of something to say, just to give our honest opinion. But so what we wanted to talk about on this podcast is our long-term duck hunting goals. I can instantly think of several right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Me and you could talk about this for an hour.
Yeah, and we've talked about duck hunting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for hours.
What we want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's not. I mean, you have goals and everything. I think you do in life. And this is a sport that we love. We enjoy. We do it with our families, our friends. And so yeah, I think there's certain goals that you set. Like, hey, before the last time you blow a call and the last shot's fired, you're like, I'd like to do this, or go to this place and accomplish this, or specific birds that you're like, hey, I want to get these birds, and have them just to say I've done it,
Well, you go first. Give just one scenario or bird or hunt. Where at? Maybe what kind of bird? And then I'll go, and we'll just kind of go back and forth.
Yeah. So one of the things I always wanted to do is there's a taxidermist that I follow on Facebook, and his name is Shane Smith, and he has a trip basically where I don't know if he's some way connected with it, but they offer hunting down in Oregon, Mexico, and it's birds. And for the most part, it's birds that we kill here. You have your cinnamon teal, your pintails,
just fully
redheads. But that time of year, the birds are all in full plume. And then they also have what's called a Mexican mallard, which looks a lot like a mallard. Those are down there. I think there's some of the tree ducks, and also some.
What is there, whistling?
I think so.
There is,
and some brant.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess that's where they're finalizing.
They get a lot of brant down there, and it just looking at photos and things like that, it looks like a trip that would be, like the epitome. Of duck hunting. Not that there's any particular birds down there that like, oh, I have to have these. I want to shoot a tree duck eventually. But just that trip, and I think everything that looks
the
like
journey,
just the whole experience would be something that, eventually it's on the bucket list, someday, somehow, some way, I want to make it happen.
I think we will. I'll just piggyback onto that because I was gonna say it too and save it for later, but I'll just say it now too. Same for me, and I've told you, you know, that's a long-term goal.
Yeah.
When you start looking at price, you start thinking, man, how much this costs? You know, how much the plane ticket would be, how much the trip itself would be, because you can't go down there right now, or has been for a while, without a guide. Mm-hmm. I guess you could before. I didn't know that.
Oh, really?
Someone had told me that. Yeah, they said that they used to do it all the time, but now you do have to have one. I don't know if that will ever change back, regardless if it does or doesn't. Just the price. But that being said, if you want something bad enough and it takes you several years to save for it, you can do it, you know? So my thoughts are, for myself, like, I'm just going to have to, how bad do I want it?
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to start piddling away at it, putting some aside. And it's hard. It's hard for me to do that because I like stuff in the here and now. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this before. There's a guy, Shane Smith, that has the lodge down there. A great guy. I've talked to him a little bit on the phone. We're supposed to have him on the podcast, like extreme, you know, world-renowned taxidermist for our birds.
Yeah.
Turkeys and stuff too. And he always has last-minute good deals. You've showed me on Facebook.
Yeah, where somebody cancels
like 2 weeks before. And if you think about it, if you had your money already sitting there, we've talked about this, you know, bam, you can jump on it right then. But I haven't done that. I haven't had the money ready, the means to do it, or the position. Certain jobs, I couldn't do it that way. So I guess we're putting our words, hopefully we'll put our words to action and start doing that, because we're not getting any younger, right? Like, my dad talks about him, like, wishing he would have done more for elk hunting and put in other places for the last 15 years.
To accumulate the points.
So he would have the points now, because he goes, I'm right. I mean, this is what he said. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but he said, I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
And it is true. Unfortunately, we all run out of time.
Eventually we all will, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah. And two, I think one of what just kind of bouncing off of that is it's funny because when I was in college, I took this guidance class, and the teacher handed us these blank pieces of paper, and she says, write down 5 things that you want to have in the future.
When you were in college?
When I was in college, draw a photo of it. So I drew a 65 fastback Mustang. You know, I drew a house with some kids, some other things. You know, and I wasn't even married at the time. And what's crazy is that every one of those things that I actually put down on paper, I have accomplished in my life.
Really? I know you. So do you remember all 5?
No, I remember, you know, being a dental hygienist. Mm-hmm. Of course, you know, having a family. Mm-hmm. I always wanted a 65 fastback Mustang.
You had that.
I had that.
That was a sweet car.
I can't remember what the other 2 things were, but I remember that I had accomplished all those things.
Why can't you do that now? You know,
there's no reason why, but you have a goal, and they said to look at those cards every day. You know, because if you think what you think about the most, you know, in all aspects of your life, you know, I think it was a real positive thing, and it was like at the time, like, this is goofy, this is stupid, you know, but looking back, it's like, whoa, and it happened, you know, within a 15, 20 period of time, but they all came to pass. So it's like, and that's
not that long if you look back now.
No, you know what I'm saying? And for like this, like, okay, you know, we look at it we've looked at it many times, both of us together, you know, and looked at the photos and everything like that. But it's like, you know, we need to get a plan in place to make it happen eventually, someday, you know, just to have a goal.
And I'd be open and honest, like, to the public obviously listening, I've told you, I think that this journey that we are taking with YouTube and social media and podcasts can bring us to that point. And to think about that is pretty incredible and awesome. Like, we're sitting here talking about stuff we love to talk about, you know? I mean, I love sitting here talking about waterfowl. I don't know how, but we can always find an episode.
I don't think there's a day that goes by that I don't think about duck hunting. To be honest with you, there's not a day that goes by I don't think about duck hunting.
Right.
Some aspect of it.
Yeah.
Maybe for 10 or 15 seconds. It's
right.
I must confess longer, but I think about duck hunting every day of my life, you know, and not that I'm consumed by it.
You see a canal, you're like,
I'm always looking for birds. I'm outside and geese fly over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got a lake close to our house and geese fly over. I stop and look at them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I've been in the house and hear them honk, and I just go out there to look at them flying over. It's not that I haven't seen them 1,000 times before, but you know, it's just cool. I just love waterfowl, and what God's created, the uniqueness of it, the diversity of it is just, I'm inspired by it and awed by it. So yeah, it's a blast. I love it, but think about it all the time. So for you, I mean, is there like a particular type of, you got to go to Michigan, was that 2 years ago?
Wisconsin,
and kill old squaw. I've never killed the old squaw. And that's something like, oh man, I want to kill old squaw one of these days. But is there a particular bird or something that you, or say your top like 4 or 5 birds that you're like, you know what, at some point in time, I want to get these birds, and just to have them to say, you know what, I got them. Just that satisfaction to get them.
Well, I mean, I want to kill all the North American waterfowl.
You don't want to just settle for 1 or 2. You
no,
want to go for the whole thing.
Me. I like, and the thing is keeping up with the mounts, because I wanted to have every one of them mount too, but that's going to take a while. Especially my taxidermist is kind of busy, so.
And he knows how to do it himself, so I don't know what his excuse is.
Not at your level, not even close.
Well, whatever.
Well, anyways, I'm the kind of person, I think anything's possible. So I'm going to try to stay positive when I say this, but going to Alaska and shooting a king eider would be incredible.
That's your
my epitome bird?
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it is. I feel like a harlequin is right now.
Mine
it was
as well.
old squaw.
Mine as well.
Okay, you're number one.
You wanted to shoot an old squaw before you shot a Harley.
I actually did. I actually
Really?
wanted to, I don't know why. I just love the long tail.
Yeah.
Just about, and which I got one here on the wall, and it's really not even a stud, but
Yeah.
I don't care. It was like the whole
You got it.
experience. I got
Yeah.
it. But the only reason I will put king eider above a harlequin is because I feel like they're going to turn them off to where you're not going to be able to hunt them, because they're only allowing you one anyways.
Well, that's in Washington.
Huh?
That's just in Washington.
No, king eider.
Oh, king eiders.
Yeah.
I thought you could shoot more than one in Alaska. I'm pretty sure you can shoot more than one.
Yeah, but I'm not more than one day. I'm just saying you can only shoot one.
Total.
No, I don't know about that.
I think you can shoot. I mean, if you like a 3-day trip, I think you can shoot.
No, I'm just saying they got it down to one, right? Whatever, one a day. But what I'm saying is eventually they're just going to move it off the list, just like harlequin. Most places it's one a season.
Yeah, in the lower 48.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, only reason I put that one above it is just because I feel like if I kind of want to shoot that one more. So I was like, man. But the thing is, like I said, it's such a. I'd pick Obregon over going and doing that, just for the fact of the plumed out birds, the variety that I could shoot more variety down there that I haven't shot yet, a couple more. But the king eider, dude, is like how much? 10 grand for those hunts?
I don't think so. I think it's like 9, but it costs.
Well, I said 8 or 10.
Yeah, I mean, but it costs to get down there. I guess what I've heard is you fly to Alaska, then it just costs just as much to fly down to the Aleutian Islands as it did to get to Alaska.
Right.
So you may pay $800 or $900 to get from.
Plus your guide.
Yeah, I think that's like 9 or 10 for just the guide.
Yeah, right. No, I know. That's just that.
That's just the guiding thing. Yeah, I think.
And so I don't know, man. Like as much as I want to do that, I don't know if I want to justify spending that much.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, dude. I've thought about it. Because the job I worked before, I probably could have if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I don't know if I feel right about that. Like, I don't know.
So Harley would be your top bird. What's the next one?
Well, what's your next one? What's your first one?
First bird would be a harlequin. At this point right now, a harlequin. Since I was a little kid, I always thought the Harley was the coolest looking bird ever. Even more than a king eider. I at this point right now, if you told me, hey, you can go to Alaska to Valdez, which is on my bucket list too, Valdez, and hunt for harlequin, the Barrows, golden eye, and whatever else. They have old squaw there too, I think. Whatever else. That would be my second hunt after Obregon. I want to go to Valdez and get a harlequin. So harlequin's my top bird that I want to shoot. And then for my second one, I'd say a black duck.
So harlequin's number one.
Yeah.
And second one's black duck.
Black duck.
Okay. That black duck might be next year. That could very well happen next year.
Got to scratch them off eventually.
Have you scratched anything off? I mean, you've shot a lot of variety, though.
I always wanted to shoot a blue wing, you know what I'm saying? Because I had shot the cinnamon and the green wing, and I have killed several blue wings since then because they're becoming more abundant in the Central Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's one of the birds I always wanted to get scratch off. So yeah, but right now probably in North American birds it would be the harlequin and then the black duck.
Dude, I would say a third.
Second.
My second?
You said eider. Oh, you said you said harlequin and king.
Yeah, I kind of said king first,
and then
harlequin second.
Okay.
I'd say my third was black. That's what I was going to say.
A black duck for your third one?
Yeah, just because, and I really think that's something. If I want to make the trip, I believe we can get that next year. Yeah, if you want to go and I could go and everything works out.
Yeah, if everything worked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
My third bird, it would be a Pacific eider. Probably in Maine.
Okay. That'd be fun to go to Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do the layout boat and everything.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
That would definitely be something that I could get into.
Yeah.
Have some lobster, fresh lobster, crab or whatever they have over there. Yeah. Clam chowder.
Now, here's the thing. That would legitimately be in the ocean versus Wisconsin was in the lake.
The lake, yeah.
So I wonder, because they were, our guide, Austin Rogotsky with Blue Ribbon Outdoors, I believe. Awesome guy. He was like, oh, you won't get sick. I'm like, yeah, right. You're lying to me. I'm going to get, no. He goes, no, the way the, what's the word I'm looking for? The way the
chop or whatever?
The chop is a inconsistent chop.
Oh, okay.
Which breaks up that thing that causes you to get
the motion sickness.
The motion sickness. Whereas, on the ocean, it's the same thing, and that's what's. I'm like, ooh, I don't. Unless they do it in a bay. Do they mainly do it in bays?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm sure they don't go way out in the ocean, but
yeah.
I'm sure they're.
I'd like to go with that one guy, Jeff Coates.
Oh yeah,
Seems
Pit
like
Boss
cool
Waterfowl.
Dude. Yeah, he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, he's got some cool.
Isn't that his name, Jeff Coates?
Yeah, and he does carving and Pit Boss Waterfowl. Yeah, he's got some cool stuff. Yeah,
he seems like does pretty well for himself as far as hunting and stuff.
So that'd be my fourth. Let's see, what are we up to? Harlequin.
Well, we kind of got sidetracked because we're talking about long-term duck hunting.
Yeah, kind of both.
But I guess that kind of goes with it.
Yeah. That's
okay, so you said you wanted to go to Maine for your.
Yeah, I want to go to Maine. So that'd be like my third trip, Maine.
Okay.
First would be down to Oregon. Second would be to Valdez, Alaska, and then third would be to Maine.
You know what? Also, I know what I'll say. I really, really want to go shoot a brant. Like this year, it's hit me. Actually, it hit me strong last year. And I thought I was gonna make it happen. Didn't make it happen. I guess, be honest with you, I kind of got lazy. But I really want to go up north to the northwest California and shoot a black brant. I say black brant, but a brant.
Yeah.
And just because I feel okay, it's right here in our backyard.
Yeah,
I mean it is a drive.
Yeah,
but when they do push through, there's quite a bit.
Well, they shoot them down in was it Bodega Bay? One of the bays, they shoot them here off the coast as well.
When I say northwest, I'm talking about Humboldt County.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. But I really want to do that, and you could do it ourselves. We've talked about doing diver hunts this year, but you gotta have the right setup for that, and that's kind of sketchy. Me and Toms were talking about we were talking the other day about being in the kayaks.
In Monterey Bay.
It creeps me out because that thing's loaded with sharks, dude.
I don't.
That little kayak.
I don't like the ocean that much, so
I don't either. And the fact that if seals are around, that's shark food. And a little 11-foot kayak floating around the bay. I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
You would have got me out there in those things. No, thank you.
Nah, dude, So what do you see yourself doing first? We'll get close to wrapping this up, but what do you see yourself doing first for as far as those long-term duck hunting trips?
Long-term, probably like you said, like the black duck, if we can find somewhere to go, Then probably second would probably be Maine, just for I don't think it's going to be as much as it is to go to Valdez or to Oregon. Oregon's like probably like the top thing. And then too, like, I mean, kind of like, if you had like a magic lamp with a genie, of course I'd want to go to New Zealand.
Oh, dude.
And shoot the ponytail.
Well, and their season is when we're in the middle of dealing with, I mean, like, dude, that'd be so awesome.
But I would only want to go there if I could bring those birds back.
And you can't, huh?
I don't know how it is. So I guess it changes or
what
whatever.
What birds are there that you would...
The silvertail or ponytail?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're
that's
to me that's like the coolest looking bird.
It is.
And then I'm not sure if they're in, but have you seen a Brazilian tail?
Yes.
Yes. A striking feathers on their wings.
Colors.
Their secondaries. I mean, it just looks like insane. And so
yeah, I wouldn't never known about all those except that you've always showed me those for a long time. You're like, look at this bird, look at that bird, and you can remember all the birds that you shoot so well too.
But yeah, so that would be like if I had 3 wishes.
Yeah,
that would be kind of New Zealand would be awesome.
I know it's not cheap to go over there, to fly over there.
Yeah, I have no idea. I never even.
I think it's like
one of those things I never
$1,200.
thought that I could even do. You know what I'm saying?
But now you think maybe that is someday.
I don't know. It's like out there, but yeah. Wish upon a star.
There's some guys that have a channel that hunt over there. They do all kinds of different hunting. I'm like, maybe contact those boys. And
yeah, I don't know.
They look like they have a lot of fun.
4th bird would be the old squaw. And then probably my last bird that I would want to shoot North American. Probably the Barrows Goldeneye.
Yeah. So King Hyder's not even in there.
You know what? Because it's kind of out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like
maybe.
And they're cool birds. I don't know, but they're not in my top 5.
Wow.
I don't know. It's just not.
That's unbelievable. Well, I mean, like I said, those are long-term goals. Some of them aren't so long-term.
Yeah, it could potentially happen.
Some, it could be 5-10 years from now, but just pushing towards it. And, I kind of, just like the dog training videos I've done, I've always tried to push people to think, look at, nothing's too far out there for you if you set goals. Like you said, you drew pictures. My dad was always big on writing it down, and I 100% believe in that. Writing it down, visualizing it, spiritual, physical, financial goals for fun and entertainment. Put those down, you can do it.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of putting it down and thinking about it every day.
Well, it's easier to get someplace if you have a map.
Yeah. But if you don't, you're going to wander around in the wilderness, always trying to look. So I kind of just wanted to put that out there. I've talked about the dog hunting videos, 5 minutes a day. You can train a dog. If dumb old Titus can do it, anybody can do it. And it's like, if you want to do trips, if you guys have stuff on your bucket list, if your bucket list is just leaving the state you live in to go to the next state over, guys, put it down on paper.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to do it. Set a goal, do it, save up,
Yeah.
Everybody's at different levels financially. And
I never thought I'd go to Washington. I always thought I was going to hunt in California.
I never thought about even traveling until like a couple years ago. And now that you get a taste of it, you're like, you know what? It's not as big of a deal as we think it is. It don't cost as much as you think it does until you start looking up numbers, writing stuff down, penciling it out.
Yeah.
You'll never know.
Yeah. So. And two, just the experience of getting somewhere else, experiencing, seeing a different state where you haven't been, maybe some of their food there.
Yeah.
Although I didn't go for the mountain oysters. I seen those. I'd slide on those, but yeah. And then talk about, this is kind of off subject, kind of crazy, but you're talking about like writing things down. I told Taylor the other day she has that Australian Shepherd, and sometimes that dog drives me crazy. But the dog is super smart and super intelligent. I'm like, hey, you could train that to be a duck dog. I go, we can get a dual commodity out of this dog because it'll set, it'll fetch.
Oh yeah, those are genius dogs.
They're super smart. I'm like, why can't you train that thing? I go, we'll have to dye your dog though. And she's like, you're not dyeing my dog. So I told her 5 minutes a day. Tyson, 5 minutes a day, you can have this dog trained. And it could be a duck dog.
I don't know how much it would like water.
It loves the water. I can't keep it. We built that pond in our backyard. That thing won't stay out of the pond. Uh-huh. So I'm thinking, hey, this thing could be like, I think said you could have the only Australian Shepherd that I know of that could be a duck dog.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, like Shane Smith had that min pin, that miniature pincher that was out there retrieving birds.
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen like a little somebody over there in New Zealand. They had a little what's those little small tough dogs?
We're running out. We're about
we're almost
20
done.
seconds.
Whatever.
30 minutes is too tough.
Some little dog that
we're gonna change that, guys. Part of that reason that we're doing that is because of the time limit on our cameras. So if we're gonna only be 32 minutes, we just cut it off at 30. But that will be changed. We'll try to do it because once we get on this roll, it's hard for us to stop it. So.
Yeah,
guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Take care.